It's great stuff. I mean, what else can you say? It's just exactly what we need to move the needle. Thank you to the whole team. Motion to accept?
Motion.
Support. Motion by Mr. Rios and support by Mr. Judge Myers to accept the presentation. Thank you once more to the whole team. All in favor of accepting the presentation?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next item, please.
7.01 K5 ELA presentation, school improvement leadership team.
Alright, so we're just going to go over a little bit today what we actually went through with the ELA, just to kind of give you an overview of where we're moving. So today, I just wanted to put up there, we started, because we had our meeting back in December, we already set some norms, we reviewed those. They had done an exit ticket before leaving last time, so we gathered that information and shared that out to make sure that we were still talking about it, letting them know that we had looked at the information they gave us. We then asked, what does a comprehension ELA program look like? What are some ELA sample schedules? Ken did the sample lesson, as Dr. Scheer said. We had an online survey that they did. And then we really spent the afternoon digging deep, looking at the two programs we're looking at, and asking questions to make sure that they offer what we think we need in the district before piloting each of them. So just so that you can kind of see the exit ticket recap, this is what, when they left in December, what they felt was very important to have in an ELA setting. A balanced literacy program including writing, workshop model, books, consistency across the district, tech integration computer program, phonics, materials, differentiating, silent reading, and support. So that was the voice of our teachers, what they really feel is important.
And then we took some time to really develop a common vision for what a comprehensive ELA program would look like here in Taylor. We really want to focus on keeping it balanced. So the balanced literacy approach, it includes reading, it includes writing, it includes listening and speaking, and it includes a presentation facet as well. And these are all rooted in our state standards. Where does this happen? It happens during Reader's Workshop, it happens during Writer's Workshop, it happens during your word work segment of your day, and it happens in any small group interventions that you do or your guided reading groups as well. And then how? It's through modeled reading and writing, so that's what the teacher would do. It's through guided reading and writing. So now as the teacher, I start to release some of that responsibility to kids and some of the expectations. Now you try it. And then it's through independent reading and writing. So it's very much an I do as the teacher, so I model. We do as a group, so we practice. I think aloud, they think aloud, we share our thinking. And then independently, now I need you to give it a try. So that there's an expectation there of, now I need to try it on my own as well, knowing that they have full support when needed. When we're talking about Reader's Workshop, we wanted to be really clear as well on a district vision of what workshop looks like. So in terms of time management, there's always some sort of mini lesson, and that again is rooted in our content standards. For today, for example, we work through a mini lesson with our ELA group, and then there's some student work time. So again, I do the mini lesson, we practice whatever skill it is, now off you go, I need you to try it. During that independent student work time, I may have a small group with me, I may be conferencing with kids as the teacher. I'm always guiding and facilitating what they're doing. So it's not just like they're off on their own, but I do need them to try these skills independently. When we get back together for our share time, now it's it's time for you to share out in some way, how did you apply that skill that we practiced today? So that might look like partner sharing. It might be some sort of exit ticket where I asked them to record how they used the new skill within their independent reading time. It might be some sort of whole group share where I just ask some partners to share out how they applied that skill for today.
Shelby, can I just jump in and say that even though we were working with elementary folks today to show them the workshop model, this is really a best practice that we want to put in the district K-12. So it wouldn't matter whether you were a kindergarten student or a 12th grade student, when you're receiving this kind of instruction, it's exceptionally powerful when you're following this model.
And then components for the workshop model for the teacher, it might be a whole group lesson. It might be a small group lesson. So I noticed that some students all have similar needs that the whole group doesn't need. So I would pull them and do a small group lesson with them. The activity could be guided reading, it could be word work, it could be intervention, an LLI type lesson, any of those things. Also as a teacher, I would make sure that I'm keeping some records of my interactions with students. The students, their part in this is that they participate in the mini lesson. Accountable Talk is really key to us building the discourse that we need kids to really embrace and take part in, because what we're learning is that whoever is doing the work is doing the learning. So the more we can get kids engaged and talking about their thinking and learning, the more they're actually learning from each other. During the activity time, they might be silent reading, they might be doing partner work, small group activities, book clubs, and so on. During the sharing, again, accountable talk happens. So some turn-in talks, tell your partner about your learning today, repeat what your partner said so we can teach them to be good listeners as well. Can you add on to what someone has said? Can you challenge what someone has said? Can you defend your thinking? These are all very high levels of accountable talk, and that's where we want kids to, we want to teach them to move them forward in terms of that discourse. So that can happen in the sharing time as well.
So we also talked about what does a schedule look like, just to break it down to the basics. So a read aloud, 10 to 20 minutes per day. Reader's workshop, which is what Kim just kind of went through, that is about an hour of their day. And then writer's workshop is another hour of their day. And then word work, plan and construction is 20 minutes per day. So it's a good chunk of your day that's spent in this. And it does vary depending on student age. And that reader's workshop with that mini lesson, we talked about you might be in kindergarten when that mini lesson is really, really mini, but maybe you're doing 2 or 3 mini lessons in that amount of time. To do a mini lesson, let them go out and try it, bring them back in.
The rule of thumb is the number of minutes per mini lesson is the number of your birth year. So if you're 5, it's a 5-minute mini lesson. And if you're in high school and you're 17, it's a 20 to 25-minute mini lesson.
So, and I know that Dr. Steer talked about this a little bit, the 2 pilots in, we put Atlas Rubicon, but I think by the end of the day, we realized this is actually based off of Lucy Tompkins, what's in Atlas Rubicon. And what we realized is talking with other districts, Atlas Rubicon is actually something that you can purchase to map your curriculum. So other districts are using this, but they're not using the lessons that we're looking at. So again, we're trying to really make sure we have that common language. So it is all online. There's the readers and there's the writers workshop mini lessons on there. We also have been looking at the Jan Richardson guided reading that would fit in to be the guided reading portion of this. We would provide the books that go with Atlas Rubicon, those mentor texts that they need, and then help build those libraries, because books. We need our kids to be able to have access to many, many books in the classroom. These will be provided internally and then also through the Jan Richardson's experts if this is the route we go. With Journeys, it's a whole within our core program. It's an all-comprehensive, everything is within that one program. So guided reading is included in there, your reading, your writer's workshop, you're working with words, the technology, your interventions and EL support are within that, and then PD would come from Home Discipline, if that's the route. But those are the two that we will, and we will, with the pilot, those teachers that are pilot will receive PD internally for the Atlas and then through Home Discipline for Journeys.
How long will they be pilots before we determine which one we want to do?
Well, we're hoping to be quick about, we finished today, and we literally finished our meeting at 3:15, jumped into our next meeting. So the school improvement team needs to convene and actually look at what our needs are. We're hoping to pilot as soon as possible. Ideally, once we could have board approval for some of the items that we would need to purchase, we'd like to start right away, maybe early mid-February. And then we're looking at doing nonfiction. That's one of the mandates for the MSTEP. And so it's something that students struggle with, so we would do a nonfiction pilot, and we would make some